Hi, folks. Hello. I know it's been a while. I'm sorry, but look, it's been really busy. It's been very busy for all of us, pretty much. I can't think of anyone working on the site who hasn't been like knee deep in bullshit. So it's been a bit, but we're here. We're ready. We're talking to y'all on the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. It's me, John, in the saddle once more. And joining me this week is Maverick. Maverick, how are you doing?
Let me tell you, it's been an what is it again? An unfuckcrustable of a day. Yeah, that sounds right. Mavy needed drinky, and I took care of that.
Okay.
God, no, let me tell you, man. February is you forget. And I say this with all the love to everyone who has birthdays, celebrations, everything positive in February. February is a fucking dark month.
It really is.
Like, that shit's rough. And thank God we've gotten through getting closer to the halfway mark, because it is. Especially this week where it's like, normally it's one of the colder months, but for whatever reason, like we've been hitting over here on the East Coast, like 40 degree, 50 degree weather. And it's like, I'm not a fan of the fact that it's getting warmer earlier, because I don't want to face reality. I really don't want to face the fact that there's some kind of change going on. You feel me?
Absolutely. I got hit by a winter storm down here as well. I don't even know if I'd call it snow. Like there was ice on the ground. There's a buildup of ice on the ground, but it wasn't like, you know, the sort of like slush that you would expect it to be. It was all just like a hard film, I guess I would call it. Made it real difficult to, you know, walk around and do garbage and all that shit. You know, you're slipping around while you're trying to pull the trash can outside. But yeah, it's been hectic. We also had a boil water warning here for a bit. And that was a headache. Luckily, we had the foresight to grab some water bottles before the storm, because, you know, just in case the power went out. But then it didn't, but we still had to use the water bottles to, you know, like brush our teeth and all that. But that's the past.
I cannot deal with a water bottle or a boil water warning, because I just live off the tap too much. It's good tap.
Yeah, good tap. But folks, video games have been occurring. Since we last recorded, there has been quite a lot. But I'll be honest, I've only been playing one new game, and you also have only been playing one new game. I suppose we could just hop straight into it here.
Yeah, let's do it.
We have both been playing the ever-loving hell out of Pokemon Legends Arceus. And yes, that is how I pronounce it. I say Arceus. I think it can also be pronounced Arceus, but that feels weird. That feels wrong. I say Arceus. Maverick, how do you pronounce it?
Oh, I've been Arceus for like a while.
Okay. I was not going to be like, oh, you're on the right or wrong side of history, but also, you know, it's Arceus. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Arceus in Japan, and I think it's.
I'm gonna look for the katakana. Where's right? Good old Cerebi.com.
Or Cerebi, yeah. There's two places for Pokemon sickos.
Aruseasu. Yeah, come on.
Arceus. Alright, there you go. They kind of did it. They figured it out. They revitalized Pokemon. It's something that feels, I wouldn't say fully original, but it's very different. Its structure is invigorating. And I'm having a blast. Like, I rolled credits. I haven't, like, gotten to, I guess, the real final boss and all that, but, you know, just hopping in that game every once in a while, catches a Pokemon, grinding out the Pokedex. It's fun. It's fun to just mess around in that game.
Yeah, not like, God, it was definitely one of those impulse buys on my end, but I can't stop thinking about the fact that the amount of fun I've had with Legends Arceus, I think the last time I've been that immediately enthused by a Pokemon game, it must have been Gen 5 or Gen 4. when I originally like properly got a Pokemon game and was like, whoa, wow, this is actually me doing this and figuring everything out. Like, not it. And I think now that there is we're reaching like a month post Legends Arceus. You know, it's been a few weeks, but a lot of people have been beating it. A lot of people are still getting it. I think it is definitely saying something that Pokemon is the series where you don't need to do a lot to change up the formula, but also they just never bother to change it. Or never bother to have anything substantial outside of like, you know, Gen 4 being the physical special swap, like split was probably the last. Well, no, there was that as like an immediate change, and then Gen 6 coming out with the fairy type being the next like big shakeup. Everything else between 7 and 8 has been, you know, modular or just put in one game and then not take it in for like the upcoming sequel. It's a lot of headache, which is understandable. And I think what was good that this is definitely one of those games that comes out and it's like, wow, you know, I forgot how a Pokemon game can feel. I forgot the excitement that I can get with this series that I am literally as old as at this point.
Yeah, it's so nice to just have this refreshing, like, concept in this franchise. Like, as the person who is buying every single Pokemon game, even the bad ones, and still getting some form of enjoyment out of them, this was something that I kind of needed after Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, because that took a lot of the wind out of the sails, but now I'm like full steam ahead. Let's keep going. I want to see what else y'all are gonna do. It's such a bummer that they forced Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl out when they did, because they very much could have just like let it keep going and they could have made something nice with it. But, you know, that's a conversation for another time. I would say I'm just glad that Legends Arceus is as good as it is. It's, you know, there's little things here and there that are a little frustrating, and none of it drags it down enough to make me not want to interact with the game anymore. I mean, most of the time I just want to keep messing around, and like it feels more like a Monster Hunter than a Breath of the Wild, which I'm very happy about. It's about exploration. It's about interacting with the land. It's about, you know, figuring out ways to get around until you get your Braviary, and then you just fly everywhere. It's a really special little game. It really is, and I'm glad that they like limited the number of Pokemon that were in there, because that way it's not like overwhelming. They made just very good design decisions throughout, and like I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do next. You know, like they would be fools to not make another Legends game. I hope that they take some lessons from this into the rest of the franchise. Like I absolutely don't think that they should like port this version of the battling to the rest of the series, because, you know, I think Pokemon battles, like competitive Pokemon, has its own niche and it's an important niche. And if they got rid of that, I would be pretty upset. But at the same time, I do think that having this other option, these other ways of interacting with the game, with these creatures, it is very cool. I would say I hope that they like really realize how much people just like are attached to their Pokemon. Like I think that's something that that has become so readily apparent here. Like you see so many people just like taking pictures of their Pokemon and like being like, here's my team. Here's all of them outside of their balls. Like, just the fact that you can just, like, stand your trainer next to your Pokemon, it adds a whole lot to what this game is. And it's this experience of, like, curating your experience, you know, showcasing what you love. And it's also great that they were able to, like, make some pretty shitty Pokemon not that bad in this. Like, you can actually get away with using a Beautifly and a Dustox in this game. Like, maybe you won't do a shit ton with it, but the fact that you could just, like, play through this game you could have, like, a Parasect on your team, and it's not a complete waste of space. Like, that's awesome. They rebalanced a lot of cool stuff, and I would love to just see where things go from here.
Yeah, I think, like, a lot of the big things are noticing that this is definitely a different style of Pokemon. You know, I can get people not wanting this style of battle for future games, and I recognize that, but I do think it would be very interesting for Pokemon as a series to embrace what I would say is the more modern aspect of what JRPGs are now, and a lot of those aspects, you know, from a lot of the traditional turn-based games that I've seen, they focus in on the ability to do more of like just do more to affect like turn order, do more to have that as not just like, you know, something that you just have to accept, but it's actually, it low-key becomes another like bar or status condition to also consider. The agile and strong style aspect of it, you know, definitely a benign way to bring it out, but I could also just see like, I could easily see that mentality for moves like agility, trick room, like these things where you already have your speed stat there that is already the component. Just have it, you know, the way that they do it here. You can just press Y and you can just see how the turn order goes. Bake that into a future installment of the game just for me and the other perverts that love to know when I can affect turn order in order to just do some really fucky plays on a fucking battle. But
yeah, like stuff like Trick Room and all that, you know.
Yeah, like they're already there. It's just a matter of like recognizing how you can still display speed as a stat, and then also like, you know, not immediately do evasion, even though that kind of is there as well. But again, these components that are there that a lot of other series have evolved and molded, but Pokemon, as ever steadfast of a series it is, like some things could definitely be updated. I swear to God, if they take away the option to just pick moves from your move pool, that's gonna be that'll be a nail that is gonna be hard to replace, just because that's so convenient. You don't have to do TMs anymore, don't have to do HMs anymore. Just let me pick from my move pool and figure out what would be a good combination. Because
absolutely.
And again, like I was looking at my team where it's like I started with Rowlet. So right now my current team is Decidueye, Garchomp. I'm trying to level up Togetic. I've got Gardevoir in there, which I've never had Gardevoir, but you know, again, I go to the move tutor and I see, oh shit, I can have you cover a lot of types that I just don't have on my team right now. Because you've got a good special attack stat and you have the move pool for it. Luxray is my fucking sweeper at this point because of how efficient like a Thundershock or a Crunch is. Yeah. And yeah, it's like, you know, it's just good that I can actually try and figure out combinations that I never would have thought about in other games because of the fact that like I would want a new favorite, or sometimes I try and focus on the Pokemon that are just in that region alone. And so having a good mix here where, you know, so many different options that I can vie for, and I'm just thinking about what feels good for me. This is, I think, the first game where I've actually tried like a Walrein for a while. And maybe I want the Walrein in my team again because I eventually got it to a point where it was like doing good hits. But yeah, like that was definitely something that I never would have thought to use before on my team. And I'm really glad Legends Arceus is just giving me that space to do it. It's good. Absolutely.
I've been swapping around Pokemon like constantly. It's been really fun to just, you know, go out on excursions with different teams. That's something that I think is really cool that this game lets you do. So here's a question. How many shinies have you found? Because this game has a lot more shinies than other games. Like, they're not, like, all over the fucking place, but it's not that hard to get a shiny. Do you have any shinies?
I actually have not gotten a shiny yet, but I also haven't, like, right now, I'm giving myself some space away from the game because I'm hitting a point of, like, I would say burnout. Like, I'm on the Icelands now. I'm just getting to the final... I'm getting to the final boss fight, or of like this section of the game.
Right.
And
yeah, that part goes on for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's I can notice it at least where it's like it's not me getting burnt out on a Pokemon game the way that you are want to do when you hit like that 7th, 8th badge, and you're just like, all right, let me just get to the Elite Four and see how the post game looks. Like here, it's more like I'm 40 hours into a game. I definitely need to give it some space before I go back into it for another however long I choose to. It's me pacing it the way that I would any other JRPG, and that again, like it feels good that I can think of it like that because I don't want to compartmentalize Pokemon at any point. It's definitely like one of the first ones that made me realize, oh, I like this style of game. I like the way that this plays. But at the same time, you see everything else that's available in the genre, and for the past 20-some years, the main complaint has been, where's the change? Where's the dynamic to it? And thank God that there's at least some shakeup where now it's like, yeah, this weekend I'll probably go back, pick it up, if I can find a few mass swarms and really just go to town on it.
Yeah.
I can get a few shinies.
Totally. I other than the one that they give you for a mission.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I randomly came across a Dustox and the pre-evolved form of Luxray. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, okay.
What that one is.
Luxio.
Luxio, that's right. Yeah, I found a Luxio. So yeah, I have a shiny Luxray and a shiny Dustox. Luxray is fucking good in this game. Luxray rules. It's just a great experience all around. I feel like I'm very happy that this is the future of Pokemon, hopefully. And again, I do hope that they, like, I know being super excited that they did something new, and like as a Pokemon fan, of course, never being happy, I'm always like, yeah, this is great that this is the new stuff, but also can you also do the old stuff? I feel like a prick saying that, but also I just hope they balance it. I hope they figure out if they're gonna bring what they did in Legends Arceus into Gen 9 or whatever they do next. I hope that there is a balance between the two instead of just all the way shifting over. That's just my opinion. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about it. Not really. No, I mean, yeah. I'm glad that they made a good Pokemon game again. Finally.
It feels like they really had fun with it. I like, again, the designs for all of the Hisuian Pokemon, the Hisuian, members of Jubilife Village. A lot of fun. Did you know that fucking Goodrow was a Hisuian form?
I did, and it's crazy.
I had no idea.
It's
until
so
someone
wild.
pointed it out.
It's so wild. Sliggoo does as well. So yeah, so it's Goomy.
Yeah. Sliggoo, because he's like the fucking puddle or whatever, right?
I mean, yeah, like it turns into like it gains like a shell in here. Like they have shells in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
like snails. Snail dragons. I do think, okay, I feel like I'm going to have people like tweeting at me or something being like, bro, shut the fuck up. But I'm going to fucking say it. They only added like a handful of new Pokemon here, and they still took the time to make the Pokemon that the gay furries will be into and the Pokemon that the straight dudes will be into. They absolutely still did that. Because we had Sneasler for the furries, and then the Hisuian Lilligant. That is my take. You can all come at me for that, but it's still true. I don't care.
Really just snubbing Hisuian Zoroark, are we?
Hisuian Zoroark. See,
Yeah,
see,
now you gotta think about it.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I might have to ask the furries, I suppose, because I feel like Sneasler is maybe an easy. Like, I feel like Sneasler is like maybe like a pandering sort of thing, but Hisuian Zoroark, still, I feel like I don't mean pandering in a bad way either. I mean, like I think that sometimes they sit down and they're like, all right, which one are we gonna make for the furries? And that's what I felt for Sneasler. Hisuian Zoroark, I think, could be that as well. But I do think that, because I feel like they were thinking we're making this for the furries when they made regular Zoroark. But Hisuian Zoroark, I think, might have just been them going, okay, we need a normal ghost type. Because that's what it is. It's the first normal ghost type. I don't know. Again, furries, you please, you can tell me your thoughts on this situation. That was just how it came off for me.
Right. God, I'm also just looking at him too, like, Wordeer is the best thing to happen to Stantler ever.
Wordeer is so cool.
Because I was a fucking Stantler denier. I hated
Stantler sucked ass.
Hated looking at it. Hated the idea of it. Wordeer fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Cleavor. I had no idea. It took me forever to realize that, like, Cleavor was an evolution of Scyther. Because I just didn't know. And that was the other part, too. Just not cluing in. Even, like, knowing the spoilers, quote unquote, for some of these forms. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. But then to actually see it in a game, I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, like, I don't know half of this shit. I'm still figuring it out. I've yet to actually evolve an Ursaluna from, like, some of the fucking Ursaring that I have. That'll be fun to do.
It's very weird. You have to use the Peat block during a full moon. You have to actually wait for an in-game full moon to do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But nah, it's like that kind of shit, like, I don't know. It's been a while, too, since you had that. Like, I had my Eevee, and I just made sure, like, okay, is it ready to go off? Cool. Let me wait for, I'll rest until daytime, and now I can get my Espeon, which I haven't had in my party in ages. Just because of the fact that, like, I couldn't access a fucking Eevee for a while. But, no, like, that's great. Oh, God, the more that I talk about it, it's just, like, it's good to feel very excited for a Pokemon game.
It does feel nice. It does feel nice. I guess we could just kind of keep going with the Nintendo news here, because we have some fun news and some not so fun news. Which would you rather do first?
Man, you know, the not so fun news specifically sucks. Like,
It's tough.
I think we just
because the thing is that, like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I want to talk a little bit about just the way that my fucking brain works these days when we're talking about the frustrating bad news with Nintendo. I mean, if you want to get it out of the way, we could go ahead and do that first, if you so choose. Yeah. All right. So as we are all aware, Nintendo is a corporation. It is a company, and because of that, they act in to quote unquote protect their intellectual property, quote unquote. And of course, that means they're going to be using the law to go out there and shut some stuff down. Now, I'm going to be as even-handed as possible about the explanation of this, and then we can talk about our feelings on it. So, what happened was a group of hackers hacked the Switch and were selling a mod chip that allowed you to you would have to pay them to get the mod chip, and I think I don't know what other things you had to pay them for. I think you might have even had to pay to, like, gain access to their ROMs for Switch games. And so they Nintendo found out about this and shut down their business, and because I guess 2 of the 3 of the hackers that are involved with this were not in the US or in any kind of, like, country that would extradite them, they basically just went all in on the one guy who was in the US, whose name is Gary Bowser. You can yuck it up, everybody. But he is in prison for 40 months for doing this. I didn't see exactly what else. It did seem like he was being charged with other things on top of the piracy. So it wasn't just, oh yeah, he's going to jail for, like, a few years because of the piracy. Like, it was more stuff than that. But, you know, at the same time, we have, like, Nintendo sending out a press release that is patting the FBI and the Homeland Security Investigations Bureau on the back, like, thanks for getting these evil villains off the internet so that way people could buy our games. And it's just like, all right, sure. So yeah, so that's the long and short of it. My opinion is it's way too fucking far. Of course it is. Like, it's not right to put someone in prison for something stupid like this. And I mean, you go down the list of how, the prison industrial complex and like jail in general is like not morally sound, and there's a lot you could talk about here. And I don't want to say like let's not get into it, because I don't want it to be unimportant, but also like it's just a lot. And I think the long and short of it is that this is a lot of punishment for something that is pretty harmless in the grand scheme of things. Like, Nintendo's like not gonna make that much, not gonna lose that much fucking money from this. There are still places all over the goddamn place that you can download Switch games if you really want to. It's like you don't have to be a console warrior to defend the integrity of Nintendo, because they're not gonna because they're gonna lose out on like $3 million of sales on the new Mario game when they're already making like $300 million. Like, it's nothing to them. It's nothing. And so, it is still very far, but also like, not, again, this does not legitimize what Nintendo did. Also, these dudes, the fact that they were like selling the ROMs too is really stupid. And like, yeah, they shouldn't be doing that. Like, just dump them. Like, don't do that. Don't fucking sell the shit. Like, that is asking for way more trouble than you're gonna get if you're just like hosting them on a website, Yeah, I don't fucking know. I'm not really. I don't know. I feel like people are always gonna just keep saying like, oh well, Nintendo's gonna. So here's the way that my like brain's function with all this too, is that like there's so many people like posting on Twitter now like, oh, of course Nintendo did a direct right before this. Now everyone's gonna ignore that they did something bad, just like with the Gilva Sunner stuff, all that shit. And I just feel like, at a certain point, you really gotta, like, you gotta, I don't know if compartmentalize is the right word, but, like, you gotta look at, like, the art aspect of video games and the, like, people that are making them and the creative decisions, and you can get excited about that, and if you want to buy games, you can do whatever you're gonna do, but, like, like, at the very least, just be aware that these are also companies that don't give a shit about you personally, that don't give a shit about anything other than making money. And I feel like as long as people are aware of that, aren't just like kissing ass, like, it's, you have to be reasonable and not just be like, well, I think Nintendo games suck, so I need to go on this crazy rant about how everything about Nintendo blows ass because their lawyers are doing something evil. And it's like, yeah, you know what? They are doing something evil, and I agree that they shouldn't be doing that, but like, I don't know. It just reminds me of those people that are like, oh wow, this guy got canceled. I always hated them. And it's like, all right, here's your points. Thanks. I've never liked that, but that's just me. I get it. And also, overall, yeah, I don't, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, like, there's definitely a lot that's loaded in there, and I wouldn't be surprised if there is a level of wanting to, like, get enough news publication out that, knowing that this story is going to be out in tandem with releases and future focus, yeah, I can see the skeptical accountability there.
Sure.
Also, Occam's Razor, we're mid Q1. People are expecting stuff in Q2, Q3, and Q4 already. Mm-hmm. Like, that is just the way that the business lens of it is focused, where we have now just been able to have enough time where, everything that's going to be a March release, it's going to be out at this point, and we've already announced it. We got to start drumming press up for everything that's coming up in the spring, get that end of summer release information, and then that way, by the time E3 or Summer Games Fest comes out, or like what, I mean, at this point too, it's like Nintendo is not beholden to the standard video game release press cycle. They can just make their directs whenever. They can release their news when they want to. And in this case, it's just like a notice that, yeah, you know, we had a pretty successful launch with Legends Arceus. People are into it. Let's go ahead and just remind people, like, yeah, you know, we got stuff that you're excited for next month. We've got some stuff coming up in the summer. Like, it's not always a multimodal means to sweep information under the rug. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have in tandem with, you know, stories that come out, but also that's just the way that things go, where there are multiple examples of that occurring. There are multiple examples of bad press being mixed with positive press in order to try and soften the blow to an extent. Not as like a planned efficacy, but more just like, yeah, you know, we gotta keep it all in mind. That being said, fucking boneheaded maneuver on Nintendo's end. It's I don't know, I feel like the want to try and curb piracy only instills more of a fervor to go ahead and do so, which, I mean, shit, I'm not gonna denounce, nor am I gonna, like, sit here to, like, wag a finger at. Literally in a server that I, like, follow, someone was like, oh yeah, you know, initially I pirated Legends Arceus, then I liked it a lot, and so I just went ahead and bought it on Switch. Like, it's very... thinking about it, too, in the way that we are now slowly and surely approaching the $70 video game price minimum, and that's only USD. My heart goes out to all my Canadians out there that are starting to shill triple digits for one video game at this point. Fucking ridiculous. But I refuse to see, like, there's no reason not to look at piracy as an option in these cases, especially when, like, again, there's $70 prices for PS5 games. How many people actually own a PS5 now? It being in, like, its second year, one whole year out. Like,
this has definitely become a hobby that is prohibitively expensive. Like, even like older games. You know, you look at how hard it is to buy games from even like 2 generations ago. You know, like if you're even trying to get like PS3 games, it's expensive and difficult. You know, and as time goes on, more and more PS4 games are hitting that point. I cannot blame anyone for going down the path of piracy. And
yeah, but then I mean,
it's absolutely not a moral judgment. And I mean, hell, also, like, you know, you're not fucking over anyone by pirating a game, by you know, not purchasing a game, because like the people that worked on that have already gotten paid. The only people that are going to be getting more are probably like investors and the CEO and all that. And like maybe if like it hits a certain number, there could be bonuses or whatever. But for the most part, you're not really helping out the everyday worker by purchasing the game per se. You know, that's not really part of why you're buying it. Like, you should just buy a game because you like it. You should just pay for something because you want it. You want to have a physical version. You want to have it on your console easily. You know, like that is something that like I think a lot of people don't like want to just like accept when we talk about piracy. Is that like, yeah, buying it is usually easier. You know, just like pay for it. It's all available right there. You don't got to worry about fucking around with files. You don't got to worry about putting it in different places. Like, if it really was that easy to just pirate stuff, like, yeah, way more people would be doing it. But
yeah, and the other hand as well, it's like half the time, you know, a lot of the stuff that ends up on like files and shared services is also stuff that just is not in the market anymore. A lot of it is stuff from companies that no longer exist, for applications and consoles that no longer exist. A lot of the planned obsolescence of the video game industry also makes a lot of its history, you know, it can only be accessed through other measures because of the fact that original release no longer exists. And that's not even again, not a point of judge or not like a moral judgment stance, more just recognizing like, yeah, shit, like we've gone through multiple console generations at this point. I cannot count how many games I still have for my PS2, but I also know that there's I am also aware of the fact that there are measures to make sure that there are archived versions of a lot of PS2 games out there so that people can still play them and enjoy them and do what they can with whatever like means they have to do it. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just hope that like people just could be reasonable about all this in general. And yeah, like at the end of the day, it's this many layered issue where like the grand scheme of things, of course, it's fucking awful that this person is losing multiple years of their life because they stole some Nintendo games. Like, fuck that. Absolutely. But like, I just don't want to be all console warrior about it. I want to just be like, yeah, this is a horrible thing, but at the same time, I want to have like a chance to highlight the work that the people working for this company are making as well. Like I know people who work for Nintendo, and like, yeah, they absolutely don't agree with what's going on here. They absolutely think it's fucked that some person is getting, like their life harmed like this, And I don't know. That's just the kind of that's just the way that I think. And I don't know. Maybe that's being a little too generous. But that's just how I like to think. I try to think of it as individual people causing problems, not like the whole. Because there's just so many people out there just trying to fucking live their life,
I mean, I was gonna say you're asking for a reason, but you gotta remember we're dealing with gamers here.
That is true. Gamers.
Fucking gamers.
Fucking
dude.
Gamers.
Fuck gamers. I'm saying it. I'm gonna say it right here, right now.
Yeah.
If you're a gamer,
forget it.
Get out of here.
Get
Come on,
out
look
of
at
here.
yourself. Look at yourself right now. I'm talking to you. I'm up here on the mic. You right there, looking at your little screen, looking at your little TV computer screen. Come on. Really? Come on.
Are you looking in a
Get
mirror
outta
right
here.
now? Because I am.
What was that?
Are you looking at a mirror while you're saying that? Because I am looking in a mirror right now, or I'm looking at like my cell phone camera, and I'm just shaking my head at myself right now. So
No, but
That's
I do
how it
have my turned off TV right here, so it also provides that space.
there
Come
you go.
on.
Come on.
Really? For this?
I got my fucking I got my big box of Game Boy and Game Boy Color games right here, and I'm looking over and I'm seeing I got a fucking copy of Hey Yankyo Alien. Come on, man. What the fuck? Hey Yankyo Alien. You're gonna try to say that to somebody and they're gonna be like, bro, what's up? What are you doing? You having a fucking episode here trying to talk about games? Come on.
They're gonna look at you like a Megamind and go, no bitches?
And I'm gonna say, yeah, no bitches.
Yeah. Welcome to the... Well, welcome to... Nah, I'm not gonna be mean to myself and you.
Yeah, let's
just be mean to myself.
Let's be nice. Let's both be nice to each other and to ourselves.
Alright, you know what else is nice?
What?
Kirby.
Fuck. Yeah.
You know what else is nice?
What?
Actually, you know what's not nice?
What?
Donkey Kong charging at you with a soccer ball.
Oh, fuck. I can't imagine that. But what if you were Donkey Kong?
What if you were Donkey Kong doing that? Folks, the Nintendo Direct happened this week, and let me tell you, it's pretty cool.
It was a good Direct. It was especially good for nerd weirdos like me, because they announced a bunch of really obscure bullshit that made me go, oh, like I had to hold myself back because I sure was watching this at work. All right, I'll go over each of the things here. We'll try to be quick about it. I don't want to dwell. But yeah, first off, we got a new Fire Emblem Warriors game. It's Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. So it's going to be all about the Three Houses characters. I don't really know exactly what's happening in it. Like, it seems like it might be some kind of like alternate universe thing where maybe everyone makes up and they play nice together instead of killing each other.
Listen, as long as my wife and her girlfriend are able to coexist in a Muso game, that's all I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dorothea and Edelgard.
Okay.
It wasn't initially there, but honestly, that's an OT3. Like,
Nah. Huh?
unquestionable.
Mm-hmm.
And Bernadetta is my child.
They're porting No Man's Sky to Switch, and that seems nuts, because how the hell is that going to run on a Switch?
It will, apparently. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's the footage they showed looked fine, so, sure. Why not? Announcement number 1 that made me go hoot and holler. We got, Mario Strikers Charged, or not Charged. It is Mario Strikers Battle League is what it is called. Yes. It's coming out June 10th, and I fucking love Mario Strikers. That is I was so into Strikers Charged as a middle schooler. I sure did hit the top 10 worldwide in Mario Strikers Charged on the Wii for a short while there. That's how much I played that game. I'm excited for a new one. I don't know if I will have the time to get as into it as I did back then, but we'll see. And it looks pretty good. They didn't announce too much stuff about it. The rumors are that they're going to kind of like drip feed the information over time. Some people are upset that we don't have Daisy yet, even though I guess Bowser was like in her colors, so she's like basically confirmed. But yeah, it seems like they're just going to kind of like slowly reveal things for this game.
Oh yeah, like I'm trying to remember when they came out with Mario Golf as just the announcement, and it feels very similar,
Absolutely.
Make sure that you have another Mario sports game announced and just slowly get the anticipation going. And this time, though, definitely feels like they're returning to the vision. I think the equip set or whatever, like having different gear, is definitely a choice. Cool. Yeah, seems neat. And hope that Waluigi still can do his little crotch chop, because that was fucking Dude's Rock right there.
Absolutely, yeah.
They were dodging it. They were really dodging it.
They're not going to show it. We need to work for it. You need to make those goals as Waluigi to see it. They're not just going to hand it to you.
Damn.
They finally announced that Chrono Cross remaster that has been rumored for a while. They confirmed it for Switch, but it's coming out on like pretty much everything. Like I think like PS4 and 5 and Xbox and all PC. It's coming out April 7th. It is the original game, but they also are adding all those little like remaster doodads that Square Enix always does with like like turning off random encounters and like difficulty settings and all that. But they're also including the I think it would be a sound novel. I think they're including the Radical Dreamers sound novel as well.
Yeah,
which that's really neat.
Yeah, no. When I saw that was getting announced, I was like, oh shit! I had no idea that like anything Chrono Cross related would come out ever. So cool to see it come out. People love to argue whether or not it sucks in comparison to Chrono Trigger. I am going to sit out of that fight and instead see like, okay, what makes this a game worth playing? What makes this a game that Solon will fucking go to bat for in a heartbeat?
I mean, hey, this port's $20. That's nothing for something for a game like this. Like, I'm down to try it.
Speaking of, something that might not be $20, and no way to price point on that.
Oh boy,
Wii Sports getting a sequel on the Switch.
Yeah, so they're calling it Switch Sports, Nintendo Switch Sports. And yeah,
I heard about Switch Sports, but don't think we're talking about the same kind.
They got a bunch of different sports in this one. They got tennis. They got not golf.
Chambara.
Yeah, they have Chambara. They don't have golf though, because golf is coming out in an update later on. Got soccer, bowling, and I think that's it for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it sounds cool that they are going to seemingly be adding more as time goes on. Oh, badminton, I see.
Oh yeah, badminton definitely was like,
and volleyball.
Oh, yep. Definitely ones that I'm like, ooh, this might be it. But no, I mean, God, as someone that definitely, I mean, I like Wii Sports. I like the aesthetic of it. I like the way that overall it feels. But I mean, Wii Sports came bundled with your Wii. And that's why everybody played it. Because it was free. Also, it was good. Wii Sports Resort, also pretty good, but also had a price attached to it. And I don't say that to try and like diminish the work that goes into those games. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's just like, you think back to 1-2 Switch. That was a game that should have just been bundled because it was just a lot of, it was a lot of like demoing and offering to what the Switch could do. Here, ultimately, I think Wii Sports gets to that idea. The aesthetic of these games, I can't just call them the Wii series anymore because now they are porting to the Switch, but it's like, you can't do Nintendo Switch music. You can't do Nintendo Switch Play. Mm-hmm. This better be a good one to make those numbers move, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. It's a little off the shits, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
won.
You mentioned Kirby here.
Okay.
You mentioned Kirby here, and they showed. Again, I mentioned that I was at work watching this, and I did not feel compelled to hide my shame, I suppose, watching this, up until the point where the Kirby thing came on, because it did feel like if someone had maybe glanced at my screen while this was happening, I would be talked about in some way. I feel like that is not fair to me. They introduced a new form that Kirby can do called Mouthful Mode, which just has Kirby stretch over shit. So you can just like have Kirby stretched over a car.
They said, what if we did Cappy, but in a different way? And honestly, this is a very entertaining way to do it.
It's I don't want to say barbaric, but it feels like it might be. It's not normal. It's not okay.
Kirby unleashing new Nancy Reagan mode.
It's fucked up.
Kirby Ayo mode. You can also craft new fucking like specials and abilities. Yeah. There is like a leveling system to the abilities now, which kind of got glanced by, but I'm like, huh.
It's tight. It's cool.
Yeah. I like a Kirby game with system. I like systems. I like Kirby. Mm-hmm. I'll give it a shot. Fuck it.
It's wild. It's wild. We got some new trailers for games that had already been announced. They showed off a few things about Advance Wars 1 and 2, which is also a $60 game, which seems a lot, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's out April 8th. We got Splatoon 3 confirming the Salmon Run is coming back in it. Not that big of a deal, but sure. Triangle Strategy has a new demo, and it's coming out March 4th. That's sooner than not, like that's pretty soon. It's crazy.
Triangle Strategy.
Yeah, how are we feeling about Triangle Strategy? Because I feel like everyone was kind of down on it after the old demo.
I didn't get a chance to play the demo. I might try this one, but also, I don't know, like, it is... I've noticed it's hard for me to feel really invested in these HD 2D series. Mm. If only because, like, I don't know, it's... Also, I'm not the biggest Square Enix guy. I think my favorite Final Fantasy is Chrono Trigger, and my favorite Dragon Quest is Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I'm at with the series.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going to be serious about it, then yeah, sure, my favorite is 7R. But, not like... and again, no, what am I talking about? My favorite Final Fantasy is Kingdom Hearts. Like...
Yeah, there you go.
The two mainline series I am the most tepid on, just for the fact that I've just been exposed to other variations. And seeing Triangle Strategy, it's like, yeah, a tactics game looks cool, but I feel like there are other iterations of this that get to what I would prefer out of a tactics game if I sought them out. Hell, still would even just go ahead and play Tactics Advanced because I haven't really tried that. But we'll see. Again, good on more companies just going, we'll demo the first few chapters just to make sure that we can have some kind of buy-in. And you can just copy your save over for the rest of the game. I think that's the smartest move to come out of, the last few years.
Absolutely, yeah. Speaking of those 2.5D games, though, so have you ever heard of a game called Live a Live?
Live a Live, Live Alive. It's I keep seeing it in Silva Gunner videos. And I was just like, that looks neat.
So, it is pretty neat. I haven't played too much of it myself, but it is a very solid JRPG where you play as 7 different characters in 7 different styles of RPG and story and gameplay and dialogue and everything. They're all in different points of time. There's a caveman time period, there's a medieval, there's a Wild West, there's a future. I think there's a ninja, all that sort of stuff. They are finally bringing it out in America. This game never came out in the US, but it is also being remade as one of those 2.5D games. Now, I could take or leave the visuals here, but I am personally just super stoked that a game like Live a Live that has been, basically people have been begging for it to come out over here for years and years and years. This is the old head Mother 3. We've been asking for Mother 3 for ages and ages and ages. I get it. But the Live a Live fans have been waiting longer. So it's finally coming out over here, July 22nd on the Switch. I don't know if it's coming out on anything else, but that's the day it's releasing. Speaking of Mother, though, Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings are on the Super Nintendo and NES online collections specifically. They're out now.
Oh, shit.
If you're hearing this. So yeah, if you are a Switch Online subscriber, you don't have to be subscribed to the N64 or whatever. So if you're a baseline subscriber, you can play Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings right now.
Yeah, let me go fucking put $20 in for the year.
Yeah. I'm
doing that now.
I'm a pretty big proponent for Earthbound, I think folks don't really need to play Earthbound Beginnings. That game is rough, and it is also basically the same thing as Earthbound, but they, Earthbound Beginnings is to Metal Gear 2 that Metal Gear Solid is to Earthbound, if that makes sense to you.
To understand the, fervor of Earthbound and the way that,
yes.
It has just been a very... the current, top provider of gaming merchandise, I would say, that has not only deals with limited run and is the official Undertale merch seller, but just a lot of it has so many hands in its hands in several pies at this point. Started out as an Earthbound fan site because everybody just loved that fucking game. And with all due, I get it. It's another one of those things where it's yes, the gameplay is not the most riveting, but at the same time, the story is out of the park when it comes to what Earthbound offers. If you've never played it before, you owe it to yourself to give it a shot. And honestly, in regard to Mother 3, anyone that would want a physical copy of Mother 3 would do so because they want to pay respect to the fan translation that they had played earlier. And the fan translation is really good and does a very good job to let so many people also understand why that game has the level of recognition it does. That being said, there is definitely some dated material. I cannot talk about my name to come up with them, the Maromani. If you're wondering what I'm trying to sub that in for, think about it. Use your brain.
It's I think the way that Jonathan Holmes described it is the way that I describe it, in that it's offensive to everyone, in that those characters are offensive to progressives, in that they are, they have a slur on their name, and they are basically a bunch of really poorly presented drag queens for the most part. But then for people who are on the opposite end, they are these like positive. They're a very positive force in the story. So everyone would just be like, "Oh, this is this GW character." So nobody would be happy with those characters. It would be very difficult to just like slap that onto the eShop and call it a day. It is not my place to decide what to do with that. But you know, I also feel like, you know, that game is like quite, it's like over like 15 years old now, I want to say. So, you know, I feel like the overall vibe is a bit smarter. So I would love if there were, I would love for the translation, or the to be updated in a smart way. That would be very nice. To you know, like edit the name, edit those sprites, and make it something that we can all be proud of in 2022.
You know how people love to fucking do timed hits? What if you did timed hits to a song? That's Mother 3's gameplay, and that fucking whips.
Yeah, it whips. But
anyway, Earthbound.
Yeah, you could play the one that came before that right now, if you so choose. If you have a Switch and Switch Online, or you could just download it. You know, you could do like we said earlier. Let's see here. Oh, fucking, they're porting Portal and Portal 2 to Switch.
Yeah.
Which, okay, sure.
Hey, who's going to be mad about another port of Portal and Portal 2?
Yeah, why not? Those games rule.
Like, I saw a stream recently of a friend doing, or colleague, I'll call him a colleague, doing the Valve source games for the American Art Association, and basically ended that stream into Portal 2, and the entire time everyone's just like, fuck, when this came out, this was like the perfect video game. It still kind of is probably the perfect video game. And of course, this is like a group of people that grew up on Source games talking about it, but also it's pretty fucking good. Like, it is one of those games that you can give to anybody, and difficult to master, but anybody could be in that same level with it and eventually get up to that point.
Absolutely. Metroid Dread got an update where they added 2 new difficulties, one that's like an easy mode and one that is a one hit and you're dead mode. And in a few months they are also going to add a boss rush. So, you know, nice little things for Metroid Dread, nothing too crazy, but that's nice. They're remaking the first 2 Front Mission games, so that's pretty cool. I think they gave a specific date for the first one, but not the second one. Let me see where it says the date for this. Front Mission first. It just says coming 2022, and then then it just says Front Mission 2 coming later. So sure. And also another really, really awesome remake here too. Klonoa 1 and 2 are getting remade and are coming to Switch, etc., etc., etc. July 8th, which, like, holy shit, especially for Klonoa 2. Klonoa 2 is extremely expensive if you want to own that game. So this is a really nice remaster for folks to play. Very, very cool that they're doing that. And then the last 2 bits of news here are, I guess, kind of the big ones. Nintendo has announced that they are going to keep adding on to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They are not making Mario Kart 9. They are adding what they call the Booster Course Pass, which is a $25 DLC pack that basically gets you, let's see how many it says here. It's a fucking
48.
lot of 48 tracks spread out over the next, like, year and a half. They said it'll be over in 2023. So, yeah, that's a fucking lot of tracks. They revealed that in the first wave, they will have Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii, Tokyo Blur from Mario Kart Tour, and Choco Mountain from Mario Kart 64. So, they're including levels from the mobile game, which is pretty funny. I don't know, I mean, I think, like, $25 for this many courses, that's a lot. I think that's a good deal. And if you are in that Switch Online expansion pack, it does actually come included. So there you go. That's another thing for people who shelled out that money. You know, I still don't know if it's necessarily worth it, but hey, if you play Animal Crossing and Mario Kart, I think it's worth at least a year of that. Maybe 2 years so you can get, all the tracks from Mario Kart. Like that's it's starting to make more sense.
Yeah. Do you also want to highlight that in terms of subscription services for long-standing game series, Tekken no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival is also going to be launching on Switch later this year. And they announced that there is a paid in-game subscription service, which is going to give access to over 500 songs at launch.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of fucking songs. And as someone that's playing the PC version right now, it's fine. Switch version definitely has more of the jams that I would want. But also, shit, man, I gotta pay for a lot of DLC that's coming out continuously. Just one fixed subscription? That sounds like a deal.
That's far more reasonable. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the last thing they revealed was a little gift for John and Rose and all us other JRPG heads. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's here, it's real. The main character looks kind of like Flynn from Shin Megami Tensei 4, but also wearing a red jacket like the guy from SMT1, I want to say. I don't know. It looks super fucking cool. I want to see actual gameplay, of course, but I mean, it's probably just going to be MMO combat like the other ones are. But no, I'm super stoked. I'm especially stoked that they specifically said that they started coming up with the idea for 3 while they were making 2. So this isn't just like something that they decided to do later on. They were like, no, we have a plan for this. This is all coming together. So I'm very excited to see where that goes. I'm so stoked. And it's coming out this year. It's just September of this year. So it's like done. Like I don't want to tell you how I know this, but they're bug testing that shit. It's like done basically. So fucking A. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, baby. I'm hyped.
Yeah, I saw, honestly, the first few shots I was going like, oh, is this like some sort of X remaster? And, because of the fucking blue and black hues to some of that shit. But nah, it looks really cool. As soon as the British kicked in, I'm like, oh, here we go, buddy. Here we go.
Yeah.
Now it's Shrine time.
Absolutely.
Ryan, hit that yoinky sploinky.
What if Ryan had to hit that yoinky sploinky? How would
Dude, what if Ryan could beatbox?
I can't even imagine. That would be the most insane thing ever.
What if the Monado could beatbox?
God damn it. But yeah, that was the Nintendo Direct. Overall, I really liked it. It was cool. I'm glad that they did that.
But John, there's no Bayo 3. But John, there's no. Oh god, that voice hurt. Shut the fuck up. Games come out in separate release cycles. You have a backlog already. Just chill out.
Yeah.
The seas are getting warmer. You're gonna die before you see Bayo 3.
Jeez. I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I've brought it up a few times, but I got back into Chronicles 2 Torna just because, I should wrap up those games before the new one comes out. I think I want to have all of it fresh in my mind, ready for the next one. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, dude. I know my time cycle is 2022. I got some Trails content coming my way, and I got to be freshly caught up before 2023 and 2024. So,
tell us about that. What's your big Trails update here?
I mean, oh god, since end of last year, literally January 31st, I beat Cold Steel 3, and I gotta say, I'll have a little peek under the hood. You will hear about it in other forms later on the site, but it was a really well done way to just continue the series, especially because 1 and 2 started off on the Vita and PS3. So 3 and subsequently 4 are the actual translations into the PS4 style, and they just really gun for it. You know, the way that people go, oh, Persona 5, like, did something cool with, like, integrating face buttons for everything. Trails does that, too. Like, that, again, it's like one of those things where it's like, wow, this standout series is doing something new. It's like, no, this is just the new norm, and people know how to translate it into a whole new aesthetic. The way, like, gameplay, still phenomenal. Fantastic turn order system. I'm a sucker for being able to create someone with high evasion. That way I just never get hit, and I can also just make them do attacks that aren't hard-hitting, but just, like, good enough that they can actually delay turns for enemies. It's good. I understand the way that Scott talks about Inscription when it comes to there is a system that the game wants you to exploit, and for high-level maneuvers, you know, it's a necessity to know how to exploit that. Evasion, accuracy, and turn delay are definitely a 3-in-1 combo where you just figure out the right setting for whichever character you want to put it on, and you never get hit, and you just make everyone lose their turn. Not that they're faster or slower, they just never get a chance to hit. You bake that in with the new break meter that everyone has, which your characters do too, because you can get fucking dizzied and whatever, but, you know, it's like, sure, I'm not doing big hits, but I'm taking chunks out of those meters, and then they're just stunned, and I can just do big move after big move. It is, it is a game that respects when you want to make a number go up. And
hell yeah.
Shout out to numbers going up. Let me tell you.
I like to see when it becomes 2 instead of 1.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Damn, shout out to numbers. Those got to be one of my favorite genders. But, not, you know, story-wise too, I can never go too much into it because that'll be saved for the 14-hour Trails cast, chronicling In the Sky 1 all the way up to whenever we eventually do it, you know, Trails, Kuro no Kiseki and 2 if we decide to bootleg it. We won't. Maybe. We'll see. But no, it's still, you know, just building off themes. There's a time skip involved, which I can at least mention that. And it gives a good breath to what's going on, especially right now in the story. And I think 3, and as I get into 4, they're definitely doing a lot to make sure that they're finishing up this section of the entire story. They're really bringing in some big guns. They're definitely going, hey, remember this guy all the way from this game? You know, maybe I'm not going to get your hopes up. Not going to bring him yet. You might see him in 4. We don't know yet. But no, it's good. Like, I will not mind a game getting into fan service for the sake of just getting you hype on this entire world that they built. And Pokemon hit right as I was getting ready to transition it. Did I say January 31st was the new year? No, December 31st. I'm just realizing where my train of thought is at. Train, like trails.
Huh.
Yeah. But no, it's been fun. I will always recommend the series to anyone who is in need of like a new JRPG or wants to consider like a new variation on, again, like I think very recognizable but can sometimes be too comfortable systems. Trails is just enough new that there's something new for anybody to get into. Mm-hmm. I also recently got Trails in the Sky 1, so maybe I might throw it retro and go back there for a little bit.
Sure.
Who is to say?
We will find out one day.
Yeah, fucking eventually. They're long, dude.
They are long, yeah. So, I guess the big news that we had since we were gone, we had 2 big old pieces of news involving mergers and acquisitions, as it were. Microsoft bought Activision, and Sony bought Bungie. These were both huge, extremely expensive billions and millions of dollars worth of purchases. It's a little hard to say exactly what's going to go on because of these purchases, because they're still like in the process of happening, and nobody's really like put ink to paper yet per se, and the government is still trying to figure out if they want to step in on some of this stuff because it is getting monopoly like in here. But boy oh boy, the craziest shit like ever, especially Microsoft buying Activision, especially now that Activision is the way that it is.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. I don't know where to fucking start.
I mean, now we're just gonna have to think
about
like
a whole lot,
What about Nintendo? What's Nintendo gonna buy? I can't believe we're having this crossover of these game franchises. Another shitty nerd voice that's hurting my throat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, this is also weird for me as someone that just has done fuck all with either, like, developer that's been bought. Like, I can't remember. I think the last Activision Blizzard game that I guess Tony Hawk Remastered counts.
Mm-hmm.
I think. But also, maybe the last game I played of theirs was the one time that I fucking tried a free trial of World of Warcraft back when I was like 10. But that being said, like, I say that, but I can't scoff at $68.7 billion. They got bought out for $69 billion.
Nice?
Not nice.
No, yeah, it's not nice. It's
not nice.
It's fucked up. And it seems like a big reason why this is happening is A, like, Microsoft has Game Pass and Sony seems to be making their answer to it. B, inflation is really bad. So companies are trying to spend their cash on hand in big bombastic ways to kind of just use what they have before it loses even more value. And yeah, people are always just going to keep fighting over who has what. And you see the Microsoft fans going into people's replies when they're like, hey, maybe it's not good that Microsoft is like trying to become 75% of the games industry and be like, well, you just don't want us to save money on Game Pass. You just want us to keep having to pay $70 for games. It's like, no, I don't want that. But you do realize that if Microsoft owns all this shit, they're just gonna be able to make games $100, and you're not gonna be able to do anything about it because they're gonna own everything. So, it's nobody has any critical thinking with this stuff, and it's very stupid. And yeah, like Nintendo said that they don't want to acquire anybody, but they're saying that now. But eventually, people might have to be acquiring each other just to like stay alive. And at what point? And at what point is it really just going to be one game company making everything? Like it's on the horizon, folks, and that's not good. It's not good in a society that works, in a country that isn't the drizzling shits. There would be antitrust laws that would stop this from happening, but it's probably just going to happen, and that's not good for pretty much anybody. It's a fucking mess.
It's all over the place, dude.
It's all over the goddamn place.
Again, on one hand, I love the fact that I do have access to something like Game Pass, where I can just literally go ahead and, for sheer wanting to equivocate shooting myself in the head, go ahead and download the medium if I wanted to. I won't.
Mm-hmm.
The option's there, but I won't.
You won't.
But also, like, it's good to have just to, like, experience new games in a way that I just don't have the money for otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Game Pass. It is the greatest deal in gaming, but at what cost?
Yeah. Fucked up.
God, I feel like so much of this news is just like, man, this might be cool if you don't really think about it too hard. Because here's another one. Well, The Wolf Among Us 2 has been officially revealed here. They are planning on releasing it in 2023. Did you not? The Wolf Among Us.
The Wolf what?
Among Us.
Among Us!
Among Us. It's here, folks. Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing just seems very strange.
Yeah, like, I know a lot of people that are hyped for it, and I'm not gonna... Because original Wolf Among Us, very cool, very interesting.
It was good.
all-time favorite super best friends play moment of glass him. Oh no. But also, if I remember correctly, this is a variation of Telltale Games that was sort of made after the actual studio's collapse. And, you know, while it's cool that this project is getting worked on again, is it in the same capacity as the original?
It says here that directors Nick Herman and Dennis Lenar, writer Pierre Choret, composer Jared Emerson Johnson, and voice actors Adam Harrington and Aaron Yvette are all set to return. So we are getting some folks from there. It's in development with Ad Hoc Studio, which is made up of ex-Telltale employees. And, you know, even some other folks who were involved in the original Telltale are working at, I guess, current Telltale games. I don't know. It feels weird to be talking about the, like, I would love to be wrong, but it does still kind of feel like a Weekend at Bernie's type thing where this is like a corpse being propped up for something. And again, I would like to be wrong. I would like to hear that like a bunch of people who worked on the old Telltale games are working here now and are very happy and are excited to be making A Wolf Among Us 2. I want to hear that, but you know, until I hear that, I'm going to be skeptical, and I'm going to be like, I don't know. I want the people working there to be happy.
Yeah, very understandable. And again, like, I at least know the people who are going to be going into this. It's going to be one of those games that I just catch on a stream, most likely. So, very, very weird position to be in when it comes to the state of narrative interactive games. How much is Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people right now? Says my brain.
You know what? That game holds up. That's a good game.
$15.
That's
Not
a
bad.
good game. Yeah.
It is a good game. It's a cool game.
For attractive people.
For attractive people. Just like the girl listening to this. What else have we got on the docket, John?
Maverick, you tried that Monarch demo. That's by the people that did the Shin Megami Tensei. At least some of them. What's going on with that?
I did. So, when I originally saw Monarch release, I think it was like, what, an E3 presentation or a Game Award presentation?
I think they just, like, dropped it. They were just like, yeah, we're doing this. Hello.
Might have been that. Like, I don't know. I could see the aesthetic that they wanted to go for, but I wasn't immediately sold on it.
Right.
I felt like it tried to go too in one direction. Like, I guess goth aesthetic is the best way that I could explain it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really picking that up. The demo came out recently. You can go ahead and download it. I believe right now it is for PS4. I don't know if there's a Switch demo out yet, but if you just look up Monarch demo, that is available. And it's interesting.
And it's MONARK specifically.
Yep, MONARK. So, the things that have been there so far, and again, I picked this up like pre-Legends Arceus dive. So, still is a bit of the chapter left for me to go through, but you start off as this white-hair protagonist, and if I remember correctly, you come to a new school and the headmaster gives you a whole questionnaire. And this is like, they really lean into it. It's like, oh, you know, go ahead and like answer it truthfully or whatever. And just a series of whack-ass questions. If I can find the fucking questionnaire real quick, just to like actually highlight some of those fucking, nope, that's a company on Glassdoor. I don't need that. But it was like, how would you feel about like someone picked up money? How would you go about the situation? And it's very much like hard one direction, hard the other direction, staunch neutral choice or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like all these fucking things, and it kind of just lends you with this like.
It's so cut and dry. There is like no nuance to it at all, and I played a bit of the demo as well.
I found it.
Yeah.
On niceamerica.com/monarch, you can find the ego analysis. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna bop this out real quick.
All right,
So,
go ahead. Sure.
What does school life mean to you? Studying or enjoying my youth? Let me say enjoy my youth. Well, you only live once. How about in class? Do you studiously take notes during lectures? I felt like I was studious. How would you feel if you let a friend copy your notes and they did better on the test than you? They don't deserve it. Good for them. What am I, a narc? Good for them. It seems like your friend is about to mess something up. What do you do? See how things play out? Warn them to be careful. I'd give them the slip, just give them a heads up. You're standing in line for, let's say ramen. Someone cuts in front of you, but you've been waiting for ages. What do you do? Back of the line, bub. Glare at them in silence. I'd probably be silent about it. You need money, but you're flat broke. What do you do? Give up or go into debt? Hey, buddy, guess what I have right now? You ever looked at a naughty website on your phone or your desktop, maybe? For reference, this is the headmaster asking you these questions. To you, the student. I have. I appreciate the honesty. Okay, let's say you're at a buffet. How do you decide what to eat? I try... I forgot how, off the goop this is.
It's fucked up. It's insane.
I try as many different foods. Situation's been settled, but someone insists on disagreeing. How do you respond? Get annoyed. They're dumb. Someone you hate is loved by everyone around you. What do you think about that? It's none of my business. What the fuck ever. Forced to take on a leadership role. How do you make your decisions? I don't know what I do. Would you say you've ever truly loved someone? Yeah, If you had extra free time and money, how would you spend it? Use it to further pursue my personal growth. Streamer time, baby. What would you do if someone started spreading baseless rumors about you? Angrily deny it and denounce them, get depressed and let it happen. Get mad, whatever. Choose one of these sets of words. Wait. Okay, choose one of these sets of words, would you? Collect, assimilate, grow, or love, unity, fate. Love. Oh, okay, cool. And my ego is governed by lust. So this is the exact questionnaire I did in the game. Verbatim. And this leads to, whatever their concept of not a persona is going to be. It sounds unfair to deride it like that, but also at the same time, how many Persona games have I played? How has the concept of an astral projection of your inner self been like a staple of modern media? It's nothing new. But, I was gonna say something nice, but then I just remembered it also kind of looks like a PS3 game. Like, straight up peak PS3, chunky 3D, figures in that game.
Yeah,
and
I couldn't get into it at all just because, most of the dialogue is proper nouns of just, random bullshit. It's just I see you've entered the Expanse, and you have a companion, and, it's all, capital, and I'm like, just stop, I don't care. I don't give a shit about anything that's going on.
I am a sucker for dialogue that is nothing but proper nouns. Again, I'm a Trails fan. There's a character named the Almighty Conflagration, and that is the stupidest thing ever, but it also rules. This, however, is not that.
Yeah, and I think it's trying too hard, and it's not even hitting anything that it's trying to hit whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's
the gameplay is also. I'm curious about the way that the gameplay is going to go, because ultimately, you have you create sort of additional party members, and not even just full on party members. It's your governances or whatever they're called that are just additional members in your field of action, and you can delay their turns to try and boost your turn. The system is intriguing in a way, but also, again, everything else attached to it right now is kind of up in the air in terms of whether or not I'm going to continue with it. If I have the spare cash for it, maybe. But I mean, literally, it's coming out next week, or in 2 weeks from now. And I can't think of any actual buzz surrounding it. So
I feel like, especially the fact that it came out right after like a solid Shin Megami Tensei game, and this just like seeming so very like stuck in the past, and not even in like in an SMT style where it's like, oh yeah, this is just like based on like some classic 80s like classic, it's not feeling like it's remembering a time gone by that like we grew up with. This feels like it's just like kind of wallowing in something that because they don't know how to do something modern. It's not remembering. It's fixating.
Again, for them, modern is a PlayStation 3 equivalent, and
yeah,
I don't mean that to like innately deride them, but at the same time, it's just like
it doesn't feel like they're doing anything cool with what it is. Like, it doesn't feel like it's interesting like those PS3 games that people latched onto, like your El Shaddai's, your Nier, your, even like the Cold Steel, I feel like it is one of those like absolute bottom of the barrel JRPGs that were getting churned out back then that, you're gonna hear like fucking like Metal Jesus or something be like, this is a hidden gem on the PS3, but also you have to spend $140 to get a copy of it because they sold like nothing because nobody wanted it. So I guess my answer is, yeah, you should go buy it so you can keep a shrink-wrapped copy for a few years and then flip it for twice as much, because that's probably what's gonna happen, because nobody's gonna buy this.
Right? Hell, we'll see how the year goes. Maybe I'll put something out on it. I don't know.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's anything to like rush out and cover. It is what it is. Real quick, I guess I'll mention I got my hands on a copy of fucking Strange Journey Redux.
Ooh, there you go.
That's cool. I've only played a little bit of it, but you know what? I am just so SMT pilled now that I fucking hate first-person dungeon crawlers, but I still like this game. That's how fucked up my brain is now. It's just badass. You're in like a fucking Dead Space suit, and you're just going around with your demons and shooting shit. You're in Antarctica? It's just all kinds of crazy shit going on. It's nuts. It's cool. I like it.
Hell yeah.
I need to actually pick an SMT game to like sit down and actually finish, though, because I have started 3, 5, and this now. So I need to actually just pick one.
Rotate them. Fuck it.
I'm gonna lose my mind if I do that. I'm gonna completely lose track of what's going on. I'm not gonna be able to keep up with what I have on what. I can't do that. I will crash and burn.
Nah, that's fair. That's fair. Which is the one that like? So is it 5, 4? Is it 4, 5, and Strange Journey, or 3, 5, and Strange Journey?
3, 5, and Strange Journey.
Okay. Oh god, no, that is a. Sound off in the comments. Well, which SMT game should John finish?
Which one should I focus on?
Hashtag Shin Megami Tensei. Hashtag Shin Megami Tensei.
Holy shit. Yeah,
I better see that hashtag. I better see that hashtag in the fucking description for this.
All right. Yeah, I will listen to your recommendations, everyone. We'll see how it goes. And our last bit of news here, real quick. Not really a huge one, but there have been some more reports about the Resident Evil 4 remake that is apparently being handled by M2, who were the folks that worked on the Resident Evil 3 remake. So here, it says... No, actually, no, that's wrong. That was who was working on it before. But apparently, it has been shifted over to the team that made the Resident Evil 2 remake, because the people weren't so happy with the RE3 remake. So it's being done in-house by Capcom and not by M2 anymore. They're saying that the game will take place almost fully at night now, and that they are going to give it a more spooky tone. Specifically, they're going to lean into some of the ideas from the scrapped beta versions of Resident Evil 4, which are honestly a legend in of itself. Like, there's probably a bunch of videos out there you'll hear about, like the Hookman version, and then there's like the Castle version, which actually eventually became Devil May Cry. Like, there's so much about Resident Evil 4 that I think is pretty neat and, like, in its past. And I would love to see that incorporated into the game in some way. And my stance has always been, for this remake specifically, if it's good, hell fucking yeah, I'm ready to try it out. I would love to play Resident Evil 4 in a new way. If it's bad, hey, guess what? Resident Evil 4 is already almost perfect in every single conceivable way, and it's available on anything, so don't worry about it. I can still play the old one. It's fine.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't know. I feel RE3 Remake also had a raw deal in the fact that it launched, like, right before the massive lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, people weren't... I would argue people weren't like, man, what do I need now that I'm going to be isolated for several months? Maybe this game about everything going to shit.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know, I feel like 3 in general gets a raw deal being stuck between the way that everyone remembers 2 and just the near, talked about near perfection of 4. So... I can get if a remake specifically for 3 is always going to be doomed to sort of just living in a shadow, especially as, you know, RE2 Remake got also a lot of, like, drum up for its setup.
Yeah, I think the RE3 Remake is great. Like, I absolutely understand people's problems with it, and I do think it would be cool if they, like, went back and added a little bit more to it. But I still think it's a fine game. And, I mean, it's definitely not as good as the Resident Evil 2 remake. Like, that is so spectacular. And, you know, hearing that the RE4 remake is going to be done by that team, like, that's cool. I want to see how this shakes out. Like, I was a little ambivalent, but then hearing that they were going to incorporate some beta stuff, it now has my attention, and I am interested to see what's going on. Apparently, they're going to officially announce it sometime in the next few months, which is cool. So, hey, we'll probably see a trailer soonish.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Mm-hmm. All right. Would you like to go ahead and move on to questions?
I am ready for questions.
Okay. Sounds good. If you want to send in a question, you can go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And you'll sound like these fine folks right here. Quenny Taikiki, I don't know how to say your name, I'm sorry, asked, which regions do you think should get a Pokemon Legends style game next? Personally, I would love a Unova Legends game with a Wild West/Frontier theme. Yeah, that's the easy one, because it's true, because that is what it should happen. I would love for a Wild West Unova game. That sounds baller as hell. I would also be down for, like, a medieval style game set in Gen 6 or Gen 8, you know, like Kalos or Galar. That would be cool. Hell, I would even be okay with, like, another, like, Japanese style one, but set in Johto. Like, really lean into, like, the origins of, like, you know, the towers in Ho-Oh and Lugia and the dogs and all that. I would love to see that in a game. I just, you know, I like, as long as it's not Kanto, I'm interested.
Yeah, oh god, I think about it, and I also wouldn't mind a Legends aesthetic and gameplay style for a more modern day Unova as well.
Sure.
Or, again, knowing that, like, it's supposed to mimic, like, US, landscapes and regions and whatnot, I feel like there's a lot of space for, like, any sort of involvement with Unova to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And I would definitely be down for that. I mean, definitely is one of my favorite gens, so I would love to see any other continuation with any part of that world.
For real. Got one from Trembopoline. No, it's Trembopoline, yeah. Hi, everyone. First time, long time. What parts of the Legends Arceus battle system would you like to see carried into future games? I feel like the whole thing wholesale doesn't work for PvP for a few reasons. Some examples. Boosts, or I guess these are examples, oh, okay, so I think these are the ones that don't work. Boosts being only single stage and not stackable, but rather their duration is affected. Status conditions are replaceable and reinflictable. Frostbite over freeze, drowsy over sleep, strong style and agile style, splinter effect for certain moves. No. Those are just the examples of the new mechanics. Okay, so yeah, so which of those mechanics do you think would be good for future games? Like actual mainline games.
Yeah, nah, like the having everything work as a poison mechanic definitely, or like as it just being like a loss of a turn in a specific like chance version, that sort of like, I wouldn't say bummed me out, but it's like there's a reason why you would stack sleep or freeze moves into your style to assure that you can have just like uninterrupted moments. You know, paralysis is that 50-50 chance, but then it also has a decrease to speed. Poison and burn have their status as deep, like damage per turn. Attack also just burn also affecting attack. Like, there is a way that each status effect is viable for whatever team you want to build into it, that having them come out the way that they did for Legends Arceus works for that game alone. I wouldn't necessarily want to see that make a return here. Like I said before, though, I would definitely want to see more. I think a PvP with the ability to actually like fuck up turn order in a way where that also just became part of the meta would be pretty interesting, I feel. I would like to see how they could try and implement that into the game if possible. And if not, I'm not going to hold it against them. I would just like to see what that next evolution would look like.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think having Frostbite and Drowsy be a thing. I don't think those should be what they are in the main game. We should keep Freeze and Sleep. I also like I do like boosts being stackable. I do like the idea of just like, you know, raising your attack or your speed to crazy amounts. I'd rather that happen. I think status conditions being replaceable is interesting. I'd say maybe some of them should be. Like, I think you should be able to like replace poison with paralysis, but I think like if they're asleep, they should just stay asleep. If they're frozen, they should just stay frozen. I don't think you should replace those. Strong and agile style, I don't think that should be a thing in the mainline games. Just because I think that adds a little too much in like the specific way that those battles work. I would just like to see more options for speed and more options for like putting yourself at a specific part of a specific part of the turn order. I would like to actually see, you know, new things in regards to that. I don't know, like, honestly, I almost want, like, all of this to just be completely separate. I almost just want it to be, like, nothing to come over, almost, you know? Like, it's weird, but, like, I would say the big thing is, I liked... The one thing that I really like, that I think should come over, is, the fixation, mechanic, where moves like rollout, instead of it locking you into using rollout for however many turns, the Pokemon can just continue to use it, and it will get stronger as you use it, but you can choose to do something else. Like, the Pokemon will like to do it, but you could choose to do something else. I think that's cool. I think that's a really, really good way to be able to play around that that downside, and I think that is how those moves should work in the future. Shulis asks, what would you do if you saw an alpha Mr. Mime in real life?
Kick it in the dick.
I mean, yeah, Maverick, you live in New York. I feel like you're basically, like, in the exact area that...
You're telling me I'm always seeing a bunch of alpha Mr. Mimes?
In a way, yeah. Like, there's...
Yeah, no. There's some fucking clowns out here, buddy.
I'm just thinking about that video from, like, I think, like, a few days ago or something, where it was just, like, some dude getting a tattoo in the middle of the subway, like, completely nude. And I was just like, yeah, that's New York. Like, and everyone's reply was just like, yeah, New York's back, baby.
New York never left. Like, come on. today I was just at the bar and like the tender was telling me like, yeah, dude, in their fucking like pavilion, there's like a dude cranking it, and we told him like get out, and then we. Content warning.
Okay.
Come.
Ah.
We see the dude finish, and then he just like wipes it on his hands like he's putting on hand sanitizer, and then he comes over and he's like, "Hey, can I bum a cigarette?" And bartender told me the story. He was like, "No, dude, get out of here. What do you mean? Go."
New York, baby.
New York, baby. Mr. Mime with the fitted. Oh, Mr. Mime with the Tims. Let's go.
How about Mr. So we're thinking about like Kanto. We're thinking about like Kanto Mr. Mime. What about Galarian Mr. Mime with like the tap?
Galarian
the tap
Mr.
shoes?
Mime would get like shot on sight. Galarian Mr. Mime. Mr. Rhyme is like robbed 3 seconds from getting into the fucking area. Are you kidding me? That fucking jabroni? Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Nah, he gets stomped on. He gets robbed. It's bad.
God.
He is down bad.
Let's see here. A question from Anonymous. What's your favorite way to go mouthful mode?
I unhinge my jaw and then I fucking go.
Sometimes you get a really big meatball sub. That's my mouthful mode.
Yeah.
If I try to go too hard on a meatball sub and then it makes my jaw hurt, that's me on mouthful mode.
Yeah. No, that's it's definitely a sandwich factor.
Mm-hmm. There's your answer. Sandwiches. That's it. And to wrap it up, Harlequin Wheels. If you had to spend $20 to put a character from any media of your choice into a collaboration movie with the AVGN, what would it be? Or who would it be? Who you drop a 20 on to get in a fucked up animation starring Irate Gamer and James Rolfe and a bunch of other classic characters from YouTube Poop? Who would be the character that you want to add?
Oh, add a character to YouTube Poop? Shit, that's like...
Yeah. You know what? That's a powerful fucking question. Wheels, I'm sorry, we're kind of bouncing off of this, but yeah, I think that's the new question. If you were to pick a character that you think should, like, join the pantheon, like, who's, like, you know, if you're thinking about YouTube Poop, it's like, yeah, like Mama Luigi, Robotnik from the Sonic cartoon, Dr. Rabbit, you know, like, those kinds of characters. Who do you think should be added into that pantheon?
Oh, man, I'm having a tough time thinking about it.
Yeah, because, like, who deserves that honor?
I don't fucking know. I'm trying to think, like, okay, what is... My gut was gonna say Balin, but
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a... Like, you could do the repeating frames thing with, like, the Balin's bouts, but other than that, there's no,
You can't set and mix Balin. He doesn't talk.
No, you can't. Like...
No.
You could try and do a Big Beat Mario with the Balin's bouts, but...
That'd be pretty cool.
God, try playing this part of the podcast to a girl.
Christ.
I mean that as me to myself. I'm not curbing on you.
I know.
But God, we just sound like we need to be put down.
Yeah, we need to be euthanized right now. Oh my God.
Please, I'll take anything.
Anyway, my answer is I think there should be more Guy Fieri YouTube Poops.
Yeah? Oh, Cyrano Fumo.
That's a good one. Yeah, we need more Toho in YouTube Poop. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. That's a good answer. All right. Well... that does it. It's been a real long time, but we are back on schedule, maybe? I don't know. Look, we're still trying to wrap up Game of the Year. I know it's like a month late, but... all right? Just, we're doing it, okay? It's happening. One of us was in the fucking hospital, okay? Like... I hope you I don't know. Nobody's been saying like hurry up. Everyone's been fine about it. I'm kind of talking to myself here. Y'all have been sweet. Don't sweat it. We are going to get stuff out as soon as possible. We're going to try to keep it up with the podcast. Hopefully we will be consistent once again. And after Game of the Year, we are going to be going full steam ahead with our site redesign. So that's very exciting. I've been seeing a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing with the site redesign. It looks so goddamn cool. I'm very excited for you all to see it. I'm really excited for us to relaunch, basically. It's exciting. Of course, if you want to follow our website, for now, it is videogamechoochoo.com. And then you can follow us at VGChoochoo on Twitter, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com on Tumblr, facebook.com/videogamechoochoo, youtube.com/videogamechoochoo. Our Twitch is twitch.tv/VGChoochoo. I don't know if we're going to be doing any Twitch stuff anytime soon, but maybe. We've been talking about it. But again, we're busy, so we'll see. Our Patreon is patreon.com/VGCC. If you give us $3 a month, you get all of our access a week early, including Unlimited Railworks, the anime podcast that Mav and I do, as well as LV and Rose. And, we also have Starlight Car, where we interview folks. Should probably do another one of those sometime soon, because that's always fun. Our Discord is thegamezone.zone. You type that into your web browser and it'll bring you straight there. And thank you to meltchannel/Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. They've got a brand new album coming out, real soon. Really, really soon. If you're a fan of the V-Shoujo girls, a bunch of them are singing on this album, which is pretty cool. Again, if you enjoy the VTubers, they're out there. Let me see if there's a specific day they have. I'm looking at Melt Channel. Hang on, where's Magic Circuit? Yeah, magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. Yeah, it's Please Stay Connected. It's coming out February 25th, so 2 weeks from now. And yeah, we got featuring Neanners, Silvervale, Iron Mouse. Got a few of the girls from V-Shoujo. So yeah, definitely check that out. It's coming out in just a few weeks.
Wow, wonder if we can collab.
That would be cool. I would love to.
Yeah. Again, the more I realize that there are more New York, that there are more online personalities just in New York, it's what's stopping me from just meeting somebody, Mm-hmm. But, I'm also not trying too hard to seek it out.
Maverick, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter over at Mavsplaniamania. That is at MAVSPLANIAMANIA, where not much is happening right now. I am actually going to be headed over to Seattle in the coming week. I've got a vacation coming up. It's our February break, and I'm going to be spending some time over in the old western side. They call me the Fraser of Brooklyn. So now I'll be coming over to the real side. Hey baby, I hear the blues calling. Tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Hell yeah.
And from that there might be other stuff I get to do. We're still figuring it out. Yeah. I am a madman going for my plane literally an hour, not an hour, 2 hours after I get off work. So it's going to be a rush.
I'm excited. I'm glad that you're going to have a good time. And you can find me at JOHN_MICHONSKI on Twitter. And that's kind of it. You can follow me on there. I'm just hanging out. I'm working. I'm surviving. That's my main goal right now. But thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week, maybe, with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.